We could do this video, start off with a little unboxing of this blind box I recently got. Okay, I saw somebody do a blind box unboxing of their prescription medication, and like they were like, I don't know what I'm gonna get, and then they did it, and I found it really funny, and I wanted to make a TikTok of it, but I am also scared that people in my real life will see it, and I'm not ashamed to be on medication. I'm just scared of my parents being like, don't tell people you're on medication, because I love my father, but he has like that weird mentality where he's like, you're allowed to use medication, you just shouldn't tell people you're on medication. I'm like, I don't think people really care. Anyways, nobody's gonna see this video, so I might as well do it here. Anyways, this is an unboxing medication. I just finished my last one. I'm hoping for the Risperidone 2 milligram tablet to take 1 tablet by mouth every day before bedtime for me. I'm hoping for that one, and if we don't get that one, I'm gonna be really confused. So let's see. Wait, hold on. I'll show you first. Oh my god. Wait, does that have my address? That has my full legal name. Okay. Oh my god, it's the Risperidone 2 milligram. Okay. Love this girl. I'm going to take my medicine now. I'm filming this video before I go to sleep as like a way to calm down and relax. So I have to leave you for a sec. I've given up on trying to make these videos look good and like be good so people will actually watch them. This is just a fun side quest for me. I love my personal video diaries, but I need to be able to look back on this time in my life and not be filled with dread and sorrow, and I just need to be able to talk about Batman. So, anyways, here's my crispy water. Okay. Oh my, I dropped a pill. I dropped a pill. Oh, I dropped a pill. Oh, I dropped 2 pills. Where did that pill go? Hold on. Okay. Crispy. Okay. Also, I cracked my phone, so there's like weird things of light. I'm gonna move you so we can remove that from. It didn't get okay. It didn't help at all. Okay. Hi. This is the media I consumed this week. Here's everything I consumed. I got inspired to do this by this one content creator, and she does it really aesthetically and beautifully. And this is how I do mine. Girl has a spectrum. Anyways, I didn't plan to originally do this video, but again, I'm just trying to relax before bed. So I thought this would be a good way to, no pressure, just, okay. How I track the media I consume is I have this beautiful thing called a media journal where I write down literally every single piece of media I consume. If I read a comic, it's getting a review. If I watch an episode of TV, I'm writing a thing about it. If I listen to an album, which I never do, I would write it down here. If I watch a movie, it's in here. Book reviews, go in here. I also have a separate journal just for books. I don't write reviews in here, but I write down like what book I read each month, its star rating, and then when I started it and when I finished it. So that goes in here. This is my reading journal. But this is my media journal, and at the beginning of the week, oh my god, I have a spread where I write down, I do my media journals Monday through Sunday. I do them Monday through Sunday. I know a lot of people do them Sunday through Saturday. I don't do that. I do it Monday through Sunday. That's just how I like to do it. And then I'll just write down Monday, and I'll write down the date, and then I'll write down everything I watched that day, and then at the very end, I'll do stats. I really only watch TV, movies, and read books and comics. I don't listen to music, but I would do a thing of music if I listen to an album. So I switch up how I do it every single time, but I'll do books, TV shows, movie in no specific order. So, and how I do my media of the week for like filming is I'll go book, TV, movie, not in a specific order, but I won't go by day. I won't be like Monday I watched. Maybe I should do that. No. Maybe I should change it up. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I lied to you. I'm gonna do that. So Monday I watched 2 episodes of Batman Beyond, Scooby-Doo meets Batman, and I started Life and Death by Stephenie Meyer. I have strong opinions about all these things, so let's begin. This week felt extremely long. It was a really weird week for me. My dad got into a pretty bad accident in the beginning of the month, and he just got out of the hospital. He was in the hospital, got out of the hospital, went back into the hospital, and was there for 2 weeks. So we just got out this Thursday. So I feel like my week was kind of cut in two, starting Thursday, where Thursday was like a whole new week, if that makes sense. Time is really weird when you go through a traumatic life event. I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird, and it feels strange, and nothing really feels real. You may be like, I think you're describing PTSD. Probably. So this week was kind of cut into two for me. And a lot of the older in the week feels like it was a long time ago, and it doesn't feel nearly as fresh in my brain. But I still think I can talk about it. So, starting off with the one thing I liked out of this bunch, which is Batman Beyond, I watched the episode Rats and Mind Games. I didn't write down I know they're both season 2, and I think they're episode, let me check. Okay, episode 9 and Rats is 9, Mind Games is 10. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me. I love the show. Season 2 has really made me love this show. I'm really enjoying it. I liked season 1. I liked season 1 enough to continue the show. But season 1, my favorite part of watching TV is finding episodes I want to rewatch. So for example, I'm watching the entire 2012 TMNT, which I will always find an excuse to talk about 2012 TMNT, but I'm watching that all on DVD, and there's one DVD 9, which is, if you know TMNT, the farm era, that I rewatch often, even though I'm not done with the show. I rewatch that one when I just need to put something on, and I really love finding episodes like that where I can just rewatch them and enjoy them and have fun with them and be those are my favorite episodes. And I didn't have a single one for season 1, and in season 2 I had 8 immediately. I love season 2 so far. I love Terry. I think he has one of the best character arcs I've ever seen. I really love him. And then for Scooby-Doo meets Batman, I was not aware this was made in the 70s. It was made in 72. I love Scooby-Doo. I do not think I love Scooby-Doo that far back. I think the farthest I can go is Zombie Island, which I'm pretty sure was made in the early 90s. I love Zombie Island. I have watched one 70s thing, and then, hold on, let me just show you. I got both of these DVD collections of Scooby-Doo somewhat recently. They were both $5, which is nice. I got this from Bookman's, which is a bookstore, DVD store in Arizona, and I got this from Walmart. And both of these have Scooby-Doo movies from the 70s, which I was not aware of. So this one is not from the 70s, but this one's from 72, and then these two are not from the 70s, but this one's from 79. I have not watched this one yet. I'm scared to, because I did not enjoy Scooby-Doo meets Batman. It was not enjoyable for me. I love that there are people who like exclusively, hold on, I have to push you, exclusively watch older media. I will never be that person. I think the farthest I can go back is like the 90s. I cannot go farther than that. I feel like it's genuine brain rot. I feel like there's such an emotional disconnect for me personally with older media. Again, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but for me personally, I think it's also because a lot of this is like something I've noticed a lot in Batman. Not this movie specifically, because like this is more of a Scooby-Doo movie than it is a Batman movie. But specifically in like superhero media, I feel like it's really hard to consume older media because I feel like I don't want to say written for a male audience. No, I do want to say that. I was going to say written for a male gaze. That's not true. It's written for a male audience, and as a woman, it is so hard to connect to that media. But I also just feel like there's an emotional disconnect in general in older media. I know somebody is going to hear that and talk about like this niche thing from the 70s and be like, it is the most emotional thing. I'm sure it is. I probably won't like it though. It's not for me. So I did not enjoy this movie. I did not enjoy this movie at all. I feel like it's something you have to be like blackout drunk to truly like enjoy, and that's just not who I am as a person. But I will probably never watch it again unless I am 21 or above and I am heavily intoxicated. I feel like I would really be able to appreciate it then. Otherwise, though, it was not for me. So I will pass. And then Life and Death, I actually made a whole video about this book, and usually I only make videos about books when like I really love them or just have a lot to say about them. I made a video about this book because I hated it. There's a lot of commentary I can make about if you don't know, Life and Death is part of the Twilight Saga. I don't know if it's officially part of the Twilight Saga, but it's the 10th anniversary reimagined Twilight where it's gender bent Twilight. That's like the only difference is that. Actually, that's not the only difference, but it's Bella's a boy, Edward's a girl. And I really don't appreciate this book. I genuinely hate it. I hate the Twilight Saga. And it is personal at this point. Like, it is, like, I will be going to hell to battle Edward Cullen, because that's where he is. I love how Edward's constantly like, I'm going to hell, you are. And I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna whoop your ass. Robert Pattinson. Batman. Okay. I cannot stand these books, and I used to love them. But the woke liberal feminist has taken over my brain, and now I can't stand them, but I can't stop reading them. I am not usually the type of person who hate reads. I think hate reading is stupid. I think, like, it can be fun. However, I think there are two types of hate reading I really dislike that people do, is, like, when they go into a book knowing they most likely are gonna hate it. They hate the genre, they hate the trope, they hate the way they hate how this author writes characters, and then they read the book and they go, I hate it. Yeah. Obviously. Or when they go into a book knowing they hate it. I guess it's the same thing, but like when they do all that and then they go, oh, I hate the book and this is really stupid and dumb. It's like, okay, yeah, you're allowed to hate read all you want, and you're allowed to do whatever you want. However, I think it's very unproductive if, like, two people, I think the reason people read reviews is, like, to either feel vindicated or to, like, get, like, should I read this book? Like, should I read this book? And I think it's extremely unproductive if you are leaving a review knowing you are going to hate the book, you hate the book, and you're completely biased, which is why you have to read reviews using your media literacy and realizing what's this person's bias. If they hate romance, they've never enjoyed a romance, they leave a review, Problematic Summer Romance by Hallie Hazelwood, say, I hate this romance, you read the review, make sure they're an unbiased source, or, you know, just make sure they're a bias that works for you. Everyone's biased, but, like, make sure it's, like, not, like, something that's going against you. I really hate when people do that. So, and I also, hold on, I have to take a sip of water, so hold on. I love water. I had a phase where I hated water because I was a high schooler, and that's what high schoolers do. I love water. Anyways, I also really try to be like, make it clear when I am reviewing a book I went into knowing I was gonna hate. And I have to be like, by the way, I hate this book, and I knew I was gonna hate this book. I didn't know I was gonna hate Life and Death to the extent I hated it, but I knew it wasn't going to be a 5-star read for sure. But I have no problem with like hate rating. I just think you need to make it clear that that's what you're doing and that you're hate rating. Technically, again, you can do whatever you want, but the point is, I'm not necessarily hate reading. I'm research reading. I really want to make an essay about Twilight and like the misogyny and like what it did to teenage girls and like the Twilight craze of the 2000s. I really think that will make a really interesting and like good essay if I can like pull it off. So I'm going to do. Oh my god, I forgot. I watched a movie and I didn't write it down. Hold on. I really think I like could write a really good essay, but I think I have to read the saga before. Like I also don't like when people are like, I hate something and they don't know it. I do think you can hate stuff with like knowing every bit of its soul. I think and I think Twilight's a thing that like you could hate. But I will say I think a lot of people hate Twilight for the wrong reasons. And I say this a lot, so I'll make it quick. But I think a lot of people hate Twilight because teenage girls like it. And I think the real reason you should hate Twilight is because Edward Cullen is a mass manipulator, evil cunt, and Jacob is literally no better. And Bella and Edward are so codependent, it could actually kill them, and it probably would have. And also, it's low-key a horror story. No, it's high-key a horror story. You know how people are like that, making fun of that one girl? She's like, I'm 19 and married, no job, no college degree. That's how reading Twilight is for me. I'm like, that is Bella. Except this man could kill her at any moment, admitted to wanting to kill her multiple times, and he could also leave her at any moment, and then she would be left with this huge secret. And when he did leave her, she was so depressed she jumped off a cliff. So that's how I feel about Twilight. Moving on. Tuesday. That's how I say Tuesday. Because I'm fun and quirky. Tuesday. I watched 3 episodes of Gravity Falls. I'm on season 2. I'm taking out a small break from Gravity Falls for no other reason other than I'm waiting to get the DVD from the library, which I should be getting Wednesday, and I'm very excited. If you saw my last video, which you probably didn't, but if you did, I am going to be watching, I'm going to be finishing Gravity Falls like midway through next week. And I don't know how to phrase that. I'm gonna be finishing it by like Wednesday of next week. So I'm very excited. I am very excited. I love Gravity Falls. It's definitely not my favorite show. I think it is a bit overhyped. And I think a lot of people love it more than me. However, I do think it's a really fun show, and I do think it's a comfort show, and I stand as my beloved. Okay. I also watched Alvin and the Chipmunks Shipwrecked. This movie nearly killed me. I don't know why I hated it. I hated it with every ounce of my being. For no reason. I usually love absurd children's media. I think there's like 2 types of children's media, and it's like children's media for little babies. That's like, it is kind of absurd, but it's like it's like teaching kids stuff. And then there's like art children media that's like just every single piece of children's media I've ever watched is insane and crazy and feels like a fever dream, and that's exactly how this movie felt. There were so many plot points where it's like, there was one part and it broke my soul where the Chipettes and Chipmunks just started randomly singing Bad Romance by Lady Gaga, just for no reason whatsoever. And I wanted to turn the movie off then and there. I was like, also, Simon gets bitten by a spider and gets an alter ego named Simone. And then Ian, who's like the evil guy in the first few Chipmunk movies, is on a cruise and he's the pelican mascot, and he gets trapped on the island with Dave, and he's a pelican mascot the entire movie. Truly, like, I think if you do recreational drugs, you should do recreational drugs and then watch this movie, and I think you will have the time. I think you will have an amazing time. However, this movie did nearly kill me. It was awful. Every time they broke out into song, a piece of me died. A piece of my soul died and went to heaven because of the Chipmunks. And that's a hard pill to swallow. So, would I recommend this movie? No, unless, again, you are similar to Scooby-Doo meets Batman, unless you are, like, out of your mind. Don't watch this movie. Or, if you're high on life, and you're a joyous, whimsical person, then you may enjoy this movie. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend it. If you have no joy and whimsy, you won't like this movie. And I don't think I have enough joy and whimsy. I think I have a lot of joy and whimsy. I don't think I have enough to... I don't think I have nearly enough to enjoy this movie. I hope I can rewatch it one day and see the light and realize it is actually a good movie. I'm just not there yet. I could not stand this movie, and everyone annoyed me. And it just pushed my buttons. Moving on, I watched 2 Scooby-Doo movies on Wednesday. I watched Aloha Scooby-Doo. This was a rewatch. I actually don't like Aloha Scooby-Doo. I really like it for, like, the vibes and the aesthetic. I think it's a really fun movie. However, they do this really weird thing in Aloha Scooby-Doo where they make the Islanders the bad guys, which I don't think is the message we want to be promoting, because literally all the Islanders are asking is to not have outsiders do their surfing competition, and like how they just don't want people from the mainland to surf in their surfing competition because it's supposed to be for Islanders, and I feel like it's completely reasonable, and then they just made the Islanders the bad guys. But again, I did just get it on DVD, so I was like, it's a really fun movie other than like the racism. So I do enjoy it other than like the ending. It's like, it's really good until the ending. So, I wish they didn't do that, but, and then I watched Scooby-Doo Stage Fright, which was really fun. If you've seen that scene of Daphne in, like, lingerie, don't know why Daphne's in lingerie, like, the purple lingerie, and she's out on the balcony, and Velma comes out, and Velma's like, what's wrong? And she's like, I'm in love with Fred, and Velma's like, whoa. Really? That's what this movie is. It's actually really fun. It's absurd. It's crazy. I love Scooby-Doo. I enjoy this. This is by no means my favorite Scooby-Doo movie, but I did really enjoy it. I did actually have a really fun time. So this is probably my favorite in the bunch. I haven't watched Scooby-Doo Goes to Hollywood because I'm scared of old movies. I'll be the first to admit it, I'm scared of old movies. I started my Ice Age rewatch. I've seen all the Ice Age movies before, like, as a child, but I never, like, watched them all, like, in order, back to back. And I planned to, like, watch them, like, over a period of time. I watched them in, like, 2 days. So, well, okay, technically, I watched Ice Age. I watched it technically on Wednesday, but I watched it at, like, 3 a.m., so it was actually Thursday. So, technically, I watched them in 2 days. But I watched Ice Age. It's incredible. It's the best one in the franchise. I love it. I did a whole movie also about the Ice Age movies, so go check it out. But I really enjoyed Ice Age. And then I watched Ice Age Meltdown. It's fun. And then I watched 3 Ice Age movies the next day, on Friday, because I started with Dawn of the Dinosaur, which is my personal favorite. I don't think it's the best, but it's my personal favorite. And then I watched Continental Drift, and I was like, okay, I might as well watch Collision Course. So I watched all of them. And I also finished Life and Death. What's that? Well, if I die, get it on camera. Like Katniss Everdeen said, get it on camera. I also read 2 comics this week. I read Robin and Batman, and I also read Batman Full Moon. I loved Robin and Batman. Robin and Batman it's like a 3-volume comic. I don't know who made it. I'm sorry. But it's like you'll know by the art style. It's like a watercolor, and I didn't know there was one for Dick Grayson. That's the first one. That's the original one. And there's also one for Jason Todd. And they both almost made me cry. Well, the Dick Grayson one did make me cry. Jason Todd almost made me cry. And I might reread the Jason Todd one just because I love it and I want to, and I really enjoyed it. But Robin and Batman was really good. I personally think here's the thing, I don't think they mischaracterized Bruce. I think some people will read that comic and go, they completely mischaracterized Bruce. They made him way too mean. I think it's a mischaracterization of Bruce to make him a good father, because I don't think any good father would let his 12-year-old son be a vigilante. I have very mixed feelings on Bruce Wayne. I have very complicated feelings about Bruce Wayne, but I am sure Bruce Wayne is not a good father. Do I think he loves his kids? Absolutely. I think he loves them with everything in him. Does he make him a good dad? No. I think some of the things people need to realize is you can love somebody so much that doesn't mean you're good to them. And I think Bruce Wayne is a perfect example of that, and I think he loves his sons and daughters so much, and I still think he's a bad father, because I think making a little 12-year-old boy whose parents got murdered in front of him your sidekick is insane. And do I think this comic kind of showed the extreme side of Bruce and like really took away a lot of his empathy? Yes, I do. And that's not my favorite version. Was this an enjoyable Bruce to read? No. Did I enjoy reading this comic? No. Did I love it? Yes. Did I enjoy it? No. Do I think they made him very much mean and cruel at points? I do think they did. However, I think it's extremely realistic to make Bruce like that. I don't think that's unrealistic. I really think that is a part of Bruce, and I don't think that's like the full complete part of Bruce. And do I think this is the most accurate description of Batman? No. However, I do think it is somewhat accurate, and I do think you kind of have to be a shit father to make your 12-year-old son a vigilante. And there was just moments where I just want to go through the comic and strangle him. And I think Bruce Wayne is a really interesting topic, because I really think you can love your kids and want the best for your kids and still not be doing what's right for your kids and still be a bad parent. And I think Bruce really loves Dick Grayson and loves his little gray. I still think he's a bad parent, and I think, is it upsetting to like fully see that? Is it upsetting to not like hide behind the mask of like loving Bruce and like fully see Bruce be an asshole? Absolutely. But also like it is who he is. And you guys, if this video ever pops up, the Batman fans, the Batman dick writers, can come at me and be like, Batman loves his cats. Okay. You still shouldn't let 12-year-olds fight crime. Hot take. That makes you an abuser. So, that's my opinion. I also read Batman Full Moon, which I didn't love this comic. I didn't know anything about it. I watched a book talker be like, we need to just start reading random ass books and that we know nothing about. I was like, okay, that's true for comics as well. So I read this random ass comic. It was fine. It was like a 3-star. It was fine. However, it did have a really interesting commentary, and here's some more Batman commentary. I have very mixed feelings about Batman, and it's similar to how I feel about Twilight, because I think a lot of people criticize Batman. Less so, like, I don't see people on the internet criticizing Batman as much. I actually see a lot of Batman defenders. However, I see a lot of people in the Batman comics criticizing Batman. However, they don't have pure hearts. I think it's the same with Twilight. You are allowed to criticize Bruce Wayne, you are allowed to criticize Twilight, but if you don't have a pure heart and good intentions while doing it, I'm not listening to you. So John, I don't know his last name, he's the British guy. I didn't like him in this comic. He was really annoying. I do think he's really fun, and I also know he's gay for the shark, so I am not losing hope on him yet. However, John really pissed me off in this comic. But he did say one thing that was really interesting, and it was that Batman only believes in himself. Batman is the only thing he believes in. And I think that's extremely true. I think that's extremely true. However, I don't think he had pure heart intentions. And I personally believe I will criticize Batman every single day. But if you don't have love in your heart for Batman, I don't want to hear it from you. I don't want to hear it from you. He's like a father. He's like a father to me. Do I want to beat him with a crowbar sometimes? Yes. Do I still love him? Also yes. Do I think he's morally irredeemable? No. Do I hate his guts? Absolutely. And if you don't have that complicated relationship with Batman, I don't think you're reading the comics right. If you're not looking into Batman, thinking about Willing and Able by Noah Kahn and imagining your relationship with your father, you are not reading the Batman comics right, and you need to reevaluate. Unless you have a great relationship with your father, then hey girl, pop off. And I love my dad. He is still Batman. And Batman sucks sometimes. So I thought that was really interesting. I also like werewolves. I'm a werewolf girl. That's why I was Team Jacob growing up. I never read the books until I was 17. I'd been Team Jacob since I was like 8. Because I like werewolves over vampires. I think werewolves are cool. And funny. And silly. And if you don't know anything about this comic, Bruce Wayne becomes a werewolf. There's just also like a lot of talk in religion, which like I am not into. I do not subscribe to that. However, I do think it had a really interesting commentary on the classism in Gotham. I think it had a really interesting commentary on the classism in Gotham. And I think classism is such an interesting conversation in the Batman universe, specifically with Jason Todd and Batman. And I think it's something that should be discussed more in the comics. So I did appreciate that. I watched 3 more episodes of Batman Beyond. I'm officially halfway through. It's really good. I really love Terry. I love Terry so much. I was a Terry hater for 2 seconds when I first started watching, because I don't like things that are new to me, and this was extremely new, and I was like, who the fuck is this man? I love him now. He's my baby. Okay. The next day I started Widow's Bay. Oh no, I'm fucked up. I started Widow's Bay earlier. Wait, where's Widow's Bay? Did I not write it down? Okay, I started Widow's Bay earlier this week. I really like it. And then I watched episode 2 today, and it really freaked me out. That clown really freaked me out. I'm very much scared. I'm so scared. I'm scared right now. It's 12 a.m. and I'm so scared. I'm scared. And now I have a fear of clowns. Widow's Bay gave me a fear of clowns. I watched the movies. I watched chapter 2 when it came out in theaters. I am now scared of clowns. Forever. I'm so scared. So that really freaked me out. And I watched Tangled. Tangled was good. It's not my favorite Disney princess movie, but I think it is the most aesthetically pleasing, and I think it has the best side characters. Mulan has the best music. Tangled has the best side characters and the most aesthetically pleasing. Princess and the Frog is objectively the best one, but Brave is my favorite. So that's my opinion on the Disney princess movies. Anyways, that's everything I consumed this week. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Goodbye.